Hello, my little ninjas. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. And welcome to your 420th episode of Mox Talks. I'm your host, Moxie. And as you can see, it's another perfect northwest sunset here. Couldn't ask for more. This is about as beautiful as it gets anywhere in the land. And thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember, it's always better when you're here. Oh my God. Okay. So where were we? I just want to come out and take a minute, have a bong hit with you all. We'll get to that momentarily. But I wanted to come out and say hi, and how you doing, and see what was going on, because I thought that might be nice. So I am here as scheduled, and it's trash day, so I got that going for me. Actually, we had a lovely lunch. Me and my beautiful Boo Bear, who is all zonked out downstairs after our wonderful lunch. We cooked, what did we cook? We cooked, it says the audio is not right. Are you guys hearing me? Can you hear me okay? Nice to see you all. Hi, Jackie Cat. As I was saying, we had a lovely carne asada lunch. Oh, the jalapenos were so spicy. Oh my God. Hello, caller.
Hey, Max. What's my day?
What? Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Super Max. Did you know that Vladimir Putin is hiding on a nuclear bunker
Who?
as we speak?
Who?
Putin? Putin?
I seriously doubt that, dude.
He's hiding because he knows something's coming. Something new.
Right now, Vladimir Putin is kicking back with a tutor full of fucking cocaine and two of the hottest Russian hookers you've ever seen slobbing up his knob. Okay? So whatever the fuck you think is going on, maybe that's taking place in a bomb shelter, but he's not hiding in fear anywhere, so we know, so you understand.
Oh, okay.
And those Russian hookers get really hot, so.
Well, in other news, Max, what do you think about Will Smith?
We're all going to die in a nuclear holocaust. But first, let's talk about Will Smith. I think, which is perfect, Manny. Thanks so much. That's exactly what the title says. We're all going to die in a nuclear holocaust. But first, let's talk about Will Smith. I think that if Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, instead of Chris Rock was standing at the podium, bitch boy Will Smith never would have done anything like that. Although there's probably a couple of people who could have come up to him and slap, 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 slap. You're such a mean old boy. But no, I think it was all staged.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But I don't believe anything I see. They're actors. Come on. They're actors. They get paid money to act. Okay? So they go to Chris Rock and they say, hey, they go to Will Smith and they say, hey, we want to do this thing. We're running out of viewers, so how about we give you $5 million and you act for us, for fucking 5 minutes. $1 million a minute. And then they go to Chris Rock and they say, hey Chris, you're gonna have to take a slap off Fresh Prince, but it's gonna be a weak ass slap. And And we'll give you $1,000,000 bonus, and we guarantee you next year you get to host the fucking Oscars. That's what I see happening. But other than that, I don't know.
Anyway, this was the kind of.
Yeah, Manny, how's it going?
I'm good. Just laying on here, man, watching about you.
Right on. Well, glad to hear you're enjoying, and it's always nice to have you around, Manny.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Okay, you too. And that goes for the rest of you too. Also, it's always better when you're here. Please never forget. So, and it's nice to see so many of you so quickly in tonight's show. I really don't want to talk about Will Smith. I just find it fascinating, right? I find it fascinating that, like, 2 months ago, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die. If you don't do exactly what we say, if you don't do exactly what we say, we're all gonna die. Everyone, your children, your parents, your grandparents, everyone you know is gonna die. And now a word from our sponsors. Right? Oh, we're all gonna die in nuclear holocaust. Nuclear holocaust. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. We should all be totally panicked right now because at any moment the end could happen. But first, let's talk about Will Smith. Do you guys get this? Because there's a pattern here, and to me, it says bullshit, 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 bullshit. And this is what I keep trying to get across to you guys. You don't have to watch any of this news. You don't have to watch a single fucking word. I'm not paying attention to every word anymore. But what I can tell you is that if something is actually happening, like, not this, oh, you gotta be afraid because we're all gonna die from whatever it is today, we're all gonna die. When we all start dying, I will go live and we will stay live until we're all dead. How about that? Until then, you really don't gotta watch any of this shit. It's of zero benefit to anyone anymore. You cannot get a single stitch of actual information out of the mainstream media. Everything is fucking lies. And if you're not seeing that way, it's kind of this you're so fucking gullible. You know what I mean? It's like fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you, fool me twice, I can't get fooled again, right? I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Because I should be smarter than that at that point. After recognizing who you are, which is someone who takes advantage of people by lying to them, tricking them, fooling them, then I should know that that's who you are. And I should treat you accordingly, as opposed to, actually listening and acting like the things you do are valid. Because you've already lied to me, and the mainstream media has lied to us again and again and again and again. So to tune into that and think that there is some stitch of information that you're actually going to pull out of it is highly unlikely. It's all there to confuse you. So what I'm telling you is that if there's actually, because none of us can take this we're all gonna die shit. It's been going on for 3 years now. Over 3 years now it's been going on. None of us can handle this shit. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're already dead. It's making people go bonkers. Okay? So again, you'll get absolutely zero information out of these out of these ridiculous fucking sources that we're supposed to turn to in times of needing someone to guide us through the darkness. There's nothing there. And what you should do immediately upon hearing it, anything that they're saying, you should go, okay, this is bullshit. So, and think about what actually must be going on that they're trying to get you to believe this bullshit. Oh, there's volunteers, former military volunteers going to the Ukraine to help train people. Yeah, right. They're volunteering for $1,000, $1,500 a day. That's not a volunteer. I mean, unless you go, hey, who wants to make $1,500 a day? And they go, I do, I do, I do. That's not a volunteer. Okay. So, should we have a bong hit? I don't know. I only have one bong hit left. I only have one bong hit left. Yeah, it's only one. I might be able to squeeze two out of it. I probably could squeeze two out of it. But I might not be able to also. Anyways, I really just wanted to say the stuff about Will Smith and the we're all gonna die thing. I really think this is incredibly important to recognize, right? If they're saying, for years now, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, and now a word from our sponsor, okay? This thing, I've told you this, this is exactly how advertising works. Is they go, ooh, look how stormy and scary it is outside. Ooh. And then you get your new Chevy van, and all of a sudden the sun comes out, and there's butterflies, and everything's better. So this is what's going on right now, along with a number of other things. But one of the things that they're doing is they're advertising through fear. And it's completely unacceptable. This advertising thing is out of control. I can't believe that people are allowed to advertise to children. People being allowed to advertise to children is sick, is disgusting. And those people who make those commercials that are prey upon children, they prey upon children. Those people are sick and disgusting. So, I'm going to make money fucking this kid's brain and screwing his parents. That sounds like such a good plan. I can't wait to see where the earth winds up at the end of my life. But at least I'll know I would have made some money. I will have made my money, honey. Again, there's a pattern here, and it's important to recognize, and it just keeps happening over and over again. So trust me when I say, if there is actually something happening, right? Well, let's put it this way: when we all actually start to die, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Mox News will go live, and will stay live until we're all dead. Okay, so until then, I really wouldn't worry about the bullshit coming through your TV screen, because we all know it's a lie. They're liars, aren't they? Aren't they liars? Ooh, they're liars. Yes, they are. Not a bong hit. It's a pretty small bong hit, but no one promised you big bong hits when you came to this planet. Maybe you only get tiny bong hits, but you should feel lucky because you get bong hits. Other people in the world, they have no bong hits. They wish they had bong hits. They wish they had the tiniest little bong hit you can imagine. And they have none. Think of the people with no bong hits. This bong hit is done in the honor of people with no bong hits. My heart goes out to you. Did I tell you I'm feeling much better today? I have. We had such a nice lunch. Oh my gosh, we had the carne asada. I haven't made the carne asada in forever. And I was like, I bought fucking carne asada steak last night, beef, whatever you call it, thin slices of beef, some kind of roast or something. And like I said, carne asada right on there. And I was like, oh, I should get something to make. I should make some roast beef sandwiches, some French dip sandwiches. And I went, nah, I'll just use tortillas. That was nice. Even if it was a little bong hit, that was actually very nice. So, right. So, anyways, I can just hear Chris Rock. Chris Rock is like, $1 million? I let Mike Tyson punch me right in the face for $1 million and get to host the Oscars next year. Huh? Anybody want to bet? Chris Rock gonna host the Oscars next year. I can guarantee it. I mean, I don't know if it's already been published or not, but after this stunt, this is a guarantee. And you know why? Because the whole thing, the entire event, the entire stunt is all about, what's going to happen next year at the Oscars? Ooh, I can't wait to tune in and find out what the next chapter in what happened at the Oscars tonight. Oh, by the way, we're all going to die. Hello, caller.
I agree, we're all gonna die.
We're all going to die!
You know what really pisses me off about the Chris Rock, Will Smith situation?
You know what really pisses me off? What's that?
Do I sound like my mother? You got a wooden spoon somewhere?
Good one.
So here's the thing, is I'm like, okay, well, what did he win the Oscar for, right? They said King Richard. And I'm like, oh my God, King Richard III, William Shakespeare, the Bard, right? War of the Roses. It's a freaking movie about tennis.
I don't, I have no idea what Will Smith has done in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air live on TV, it's Fresh Prince night, right?
Fresh Prince was awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'm so old that I have to Google the Fresh Prince to remind myself why Will Smith exists.
There you go.
Right? No, it turns out the movie isn't even about King Richard III or the War of the Roses or anything. It's about tennis.
Oh, it's, what was
I just see a movie about an abusive father.
A lot of sports stories seem to be that way.
No, it's like watching the Jackson 5.
Yeah, see, there you go. Abusive parent. Have you seen I, Tonya with Margot Robbie?
No, what's that about?
It's about Tonya Harding and how she bashed Nancy Kerrigan's knees in.
Well, I mean, come on. And
no, it's a fucking amazing movie. Okay, and Margot Robbie, by the way, is like half the world's dream girl at this point. I'm pretty sure.
No, okay, not speaking of the actors, the actual people who lived the thing. Nancy Kerrigan or Tonya Harding, Desert Island Situation.
The what now?
Desert Island Situation, Tonya Harding or Nancy Kerrigan. Pick.
What about him? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Well, this is like the Gilligan's Island, Nancy or Marianne or Ginger.
Oh, you know what?
Harding?
Tonya Harding
or
Tonya Harding is a really tragic story. Neither one of them look like any fun to me, dude. I'm like a party guy, and those two, I mean, Margot Robbie, again, looks like a
I'm not
handful.
gonna lie, I'm the guy who picks Mrs. Howell.
To each their own. This is what I said forever. It's what floats your boat, and it's really, really important for you to know that, because otherwise you're never really going to enjoy yourself. So,
But what always worried me about the whole Gilligan's Island situation is, what the heck happened when the Harlem Globetrotters just showed up?
I have no idea. You sure that's not
That
Scooby?
just seems weird.
You sure that's not Scooby-Doo?
No, it was Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
They had to, like, fabricate special hoops and stuff out of bamboo and stuff. I mean, it's Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, awesome.
Anyway, here's a really important question tonight. Tomorrow, I am making fried Cheerios over ice cream. Should I go with bananas, apples, dates, or peaches?
Uh-huh.
Pick.
Millions of peaches. Peaches for
Keep
me.
getting fucking peaches. I keep getting peaches. That's what everybody keeps saying. Okay.
Because you put peaches
Well-
at the end. Put peaches at the beginning, and I bet you get a different answer.
You think so?
Uh-huh.
I'll try that. Yeah, actually, I'm going to try that. I was actually thinking dates would be good, but... Yeah. I'm going to take that advice and just change up the direction, the order of operations.
Uh-huh.
But he changes the answer. I keep getting peaches. I'm like, what the... I'm not even in Georgia.
I think peaches is kind of a euphemism, right? So people love peaches.
Well, I really like your peaches, wanna shake your tree.
This is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's Steve Miller. He never really had anything good to say.
The presidents of the United States did, though.
Which one?
The rock band, the threesome trio.
Oh, okay. I thought you actually meant somebody with the title of the President of the United States. I was
Well, I think that
how
was.
far back are we going?
I think that was the name of their band. The president.
Yeah, the President of the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely a kid in 1997.
They rocked it.
Yeah.
Millions of peaches, peaches for me.
Yeah, well. But here's the thing, man. I lived in South Georgia for like a long time, and I'm back in Indiana, sir. Let me tell you, you cannot get a real peach or a real shrimp around here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be garbage.
I hear the same thing about watermelon in Washington State. So, I don't know.
Like, is it good there, or is it better other places?
It doesn't compare in Washington State to the stuff you get in Arizona, because Arizona gets the hot sun and it lets the watermelon get so much sweeter or something. I don't know.
You know what? Let me
I'm
tell
not a
you what,
fan.
Up here in Indiana, like, I don't know about currently, but back in the day, we had some real skippy watermelon.
Look, I don't give a fuck about watermelon or peaches unless you're talking about the euphemism. I grow cannabis, okay? As long as the cannabis is
yeah,
good,
that works.
I'll do fine.
Yeah. Growing that, that's fine. It works out. We used to, but I know some people, right?
It's good to have friends.
Anywho, I'm going to let you go. I'm probably going to go with the peaches tomorrow. They're going to be crappy peaches from, like, Walmart. So, but I'll make it work.
You do you, dude. You gotta do what you like. You know what you like. Why are you asking people?
Because I want fucking dates with my goddamn ice cream. Are you kidding me?
Then get dates. That's what I just said. You know what you like.
I'm
Don't.
going to the Indian market, not Walmart. Screw that. They got better produce.
If you're gonna get dates, I would think that would be the place to go.
Yeah. They got good sodas, too. It's like going back to the British Empire. It's like the British Empire store. It's great.
Awesome. That means they got some cool. That means they got some cool candy bars too.
Yeah, they do. They do, actually. And biscuits, well, cookies. We'd call them cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some good stuff there. Some stuff you can't get everywhere else, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just going to wing it, basically. But I definitely think I'm going to change up my order of operations and put dates at the end and see what happens there.
I think it's a good try.
Yeah, probably. Well, hey, it's been a real intricate geopolitical discussion about fruit and euphemisms.
Uh-huh.
So
We didn't even get to bananas, man. Go ahead. Banana cream sandwiches. I love banana cream sandwiches.
I was immediately thinking Carmen Miranda.
How do you possibly think that? That's like, I mean, talk about, you said you were a kid in the 90s. How can you possibly think Carmen Miranda? I mean, I was a kid in, forever. But
Well, I didn't say, I've always been 8 and 80. I mean, shared memories and stuff, dude.
Oh. Cool.
Okay, so, yeah, no, I definitely know who Carmen Miranda is.
But no one else does? Except for your grandma.
No, and that's what... In the words of Will Smith, keep my grandmother's name out of your mother effing mouth. No, wait, you can say my grandmother's name. It's fine. She had a sense of humor.
I have no idea what your grandmother's name is. And that's fine.
Kiki.
Kiki?
Yeah.
Kiki needs a
Kinda
spanking.
little.
Girls named Kiki need a spanking.
Okay, now you're getting pretty close to the line there. I mean, are we going to have to go Dirty Dozen?
I think all girls need a spanking, so it's not just Kiki, so you know.
You know what? God bless my grandfather. How about that?
Whatever you say. God bless all the grandfathers. How about that?
God bless my grandmother on her birthday.
I don't know.
Yeah, birthday spankings.
There you go.
From grandpa to her.
From God to Grandpa to her.
Yeah, there might be a wooden spoon involved. I don't know.
Well,
Polish. We
see,
generally get the wooden spoon involved.
We're getting a little too much detail here.
I know, and you realize it's all silly, too. Anywho, that got weird. I'm definitely going to change up my line of questioning to put dates at the end because I want dates, and we're just going to have dates tomorrow with fried Cheerios over ice cream. It's going to be excellent.
Awesome. See, there you go.
Yeah. And the other thing is we're totally not watching any serial killer movie type stuff tomorrow. I'm not really in that vibe. We're going to watch something really dumb. I'm planning a date, if you could figure it out. We're going to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit or something really stupid.
Have you seen Free Guy?
Free Guy?
Yeah, it's brand new. It's really good. It's available on the HBO.
Oh, who's in it?
Ryan Reynolds, the hunkiest hunk in Hunktown.
Well, I wouldn't know about that. Have you seen Willy's Wonderland?
No, but I've heard about it. Some people keep
it's
bringing
great.
it up.
Nicolas Cage, it's his best movie. He doesn't say a single word the entire time.
That's what I heard. I heard it's a very different kind of movie. The animatronics come to life.
Yeah, we used to have this place where I used to live. My sister worked there when she was a teenager, so I got all the free tokens and tickets and stuff called Celebration Station.
Chunky Cheese?
Yeah, well, no, this was better than Chuck E. Cheese. This was more teenage land, go-karts and, right? But they had the animatronics, and it was, they had, the 3D holograph Sony arcade thing and the whack-a-mole. Oh, yeah, you wouldn't want to be locked in there at night. It would, during the day, it was fine, right? It just felt like teenage
wasteland.
Cue violin. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be locked in there. You know what I mean?
Depends on who I'm going to get locked in there with. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's a complete... I just forgot that the owner of that place. I went to junior high with his twin daughters.
See, there you go. Now we're
So,
talking.
see,
Lock me in there
yeah.
now.
With the twins? Are you kidding me?
No.
I won't say a word. I'll play Nicolas Cage. Just give me a new T-shirt every 10 minutes.
Well, there'll be a bell going off every 10 minutes, so you find your own
You gotta
T-shirt.
see the movie. Like every 10 minutes, he takes a break and changes his T-shirt.
Huh.
So
It's a crazy movie, I hear.
you have to watch it. It's really good, dude.
So is Free
Anyway,
Guy.
I'm
So
always
is Free Guy.
down.
You have to watch it. It's really good, dude.
You know what movie I watched the other night, and I can't decide if I made a good decision or a bad decision?
Fifth Element?
No. Do you remember the movie Free Jack with Mick Jagger
Yeah.
and Emilio Estevez?
Yeah. Do you like it?
There's like, I remembered it being more about Formula One racing than it was.
Oh.
It was like 10 minutes of race cars, and then it was like weird futuristic
Yeah.
body snatching, and I was like, okay, it's all right.
Have you seen Speed Racer?
No, I have not.
Yeah, if you like the futuristic racing, it's really got a very stylistic look to it. Got Christina Ricci, and
Back the truck up. Did you say Christina Ricci?
yeah.
Like, does she still look as cute as she did in Pecker?
This movie is 20 years old, so I don't know how old the one is you're talking about.
Okay. Pecker was, it's this whole weird art movie she was in.
Okay, well, good for her. I hear that she's kind of artsy, so that's really, it's good to hear she makes movies like that. But yeah, if you're looking for a futuristic racing kind of movie, they spend a lot of time. Speed Racer. The whole point of it was him. You remember the cartoon series, Speed Racer?
Well, yeah.
It was that.
I do.
That's what the movie is.
Yeah, I know what a Mach 12 is.
Yeah, it's
I mean, that's actually what I was curious about. Is like, how did they build that car for real?
That's all. Everything's CG's today, dude.
No, I mean, like, you could probably actually build that car.
The car is fucking huge. It would be like a boat.
Yeah, it would be a Lamborghini. Those are huge. Have you ever driven one?
Well, a Lamborghini.
They're really big.
Yeah, some of them, not all of them.
Well, I mean, I haven't driven all of them, but the
Like,
one I did get to drive was like stupid. It was like
A
the worst thing I've
Countach. Are you
driven.
talking about a Countach? Because Countach is fucking huge. You can't even find a place to park it. It won't fit in your fucking garage. As where the later Lamborghinis are not going to have a problem fitting in your garage. Although.
No, this was a Diablo. This was a long time ago. I just had to like pull it into some place and park it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is an aircraft carrier.
Yeah. Well.
Like my daily driver was a Toyota MR2.
Cool.
And like I currently have a Mazda Miata, so it's like that's a giant car. When I drive the Camaro, I'm like, Jesus Christ! And that, I'm telling you, that Lamborghini was bigger than the Camaro.
Yeah. Okay.
And
All right.
Can I give you a piece of life advice? Don't ever take a Ferrari through the McDonald's drive-thru. You may not damage anything, but oh my God, you are going to nearly have a heart attack every time you have to move.
You don't take a Ferrari anywhere that there's speed bumps. That's just stupid.
Well, yeah, basically, you got to be careful where you take it. But it was just the shop truck. Anywho, dude, I'm going with the dates tomorrow.
Excellent.
Cheerios.
Enjoy.
Rock on.
Good to hear from
Watch
you.
your dumbass movie. All right, man.
Free Guy.
Hey,
Speed
stay the hell
Racer.
off politics for 24 hours, all right?
What now?
Stay off politics for 24 hours.
Here's the thing. Again, one more time. You guys don't need to watch the news. It adds nothing to your life. But if something does happen that you really need to know about, I will go live. So, they're like, oh, the bombs are gonna drop. Oh, we're all gonna die from the plague. You know, it's just fucking
Well, I'll tell you what,
idiotic.
You do that.
Okay,
You do that.
if something actually happens, yeah.
You let me know when something important happens. I'm going to focus on the Cheerios and the ice cream.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. That's how you enjoy life.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Moxie.
All right, keep up the good work.
Bye, bro.
Yeah. All right, so Countach is a giant car. I'll give you that. Diablo is gonna be like almost half the size of the Countach. Jaguar made this. I think it was called an X1. So fucking giant. It's a supercar, but it's like, I don't know, 1997, 99, something like that. Giant car. Very hard to find. But you just couldn't park it in your garage. It's just too big. Okay, let's see. There's my boomer. Let's see. I was saying, Will Smith never would have done that if it was Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, instead of Chris Rock, if it wasn't all staged. I mean, it's so weird. If it wasn't staged, then I think Will Smith is pretty much unemployable because he's a case and a hothead, and the last thing you need when you're trying to get some production done on time is a case and a hothead, you know? So I think it's really strange if it's at all real. This is again why it doesn't make any sense. Will Smith has everything in the world, and including, you know, security. And if you're gonna do something like this, okay, you don't do it in front of your entire fan base, in front of all your peers, in front of all the people that you might work with in the future. You just don't do that. You know, the after party, you go to the after party, you say, hey, Chris, and then you throw a cup of hot coffee in his face, right? You don't slap him like some bitch boy. If you're going to punch him, fucking punch him. But, you know, or just walk up behind him and pour a cup of coffee over his head, or wine, or beer, or whatever you think. Go to the restroom and fill it up with piss, right? But you don't go up in front of everyone in the world, which the Oscars suck, nowhere near the people who used to watch it. The amount of people who used to watch it are watching it now, because we're all gonna die from a deadly plague. We're all gonna die from nuclear war. But let's watch Will Smith for just a minute first, okay? So it has to be set up because they're desperate for an audience. And again, Will Smith doesn't have to do this in front of everyone. It makes no sense for him to do it in front of everyone. Absolutely zero. Unless, you know, the members of the Academy need some kind of stunt so people are like, oh my God, what's going to happen next year? Which, you know, people just they just fall prey to these like, evil doers, virtue signaling, fucking cunts who couldn't care less about any of you. I hear that Putin is going to stall the attacks on the Ukraine. And COVID deaths have slipped to the lowest point since the beginning of the outbreak. Did you know that? I also have a story about Hunter Biden's laptop, and the GOP is saying that if they take control of the House, the Senate, that they're going to investigate not only, the deals that Hunter Biden made that are on this laptop, but also they're going to investigate the big tech companies for covering up all this information that was coming out that was legitimate information, and they acted like it was misinformation that could not be allowed to the public, because again, you're a bunch of children who can't see through fucking lies. So anything that's said to you, you believe, right? Right? When we tell you stuff, you believe. You're getting sleepy. Believe and you believe every word I'm saying. And that's why we all talk in this same way, in this rhythmic way, which puts you to sleep, and you can't wait to hear the next word because it just is so pleasing and smooth in your brain. But it's some consolation to look into Don Lemon's eyes and know that he cries himself to sleep every single night. Oh my God. You're telling me I have to work for 2 hours a day? Oh my God. I'm gonna go heat up my tea and play some video about something that happened sometime in the very recent past, and possibly the very recent future. And please pay close attention, or not. I'm gonna go heat up my tea.
The House Select Committee investigating last year's riot here at the U.S. Capitol says former President Trump's phone logs show a significant gap of more than 7.5 hours. That's according to internal White House records that were handed over to the January 6th committee and reviewed by the Washington Post. The log shows no calls placed to or by Trump from around 11 a.m. through 7 p.m. of that day. The committee now questions if it has the full report from that day or if Trump used burner phones and talked to people through back channels. Trump says he doesn't know what a burner phone is and assumed all of his calls were recorded.
So now all people over 50 can get a second booster shot of the COVID-19 vaccine. The FDA is expanding the emergency use authorization for all adults over 50 years old to get a fourth shot. For both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, a second booster can be given 4 months after the first.
I would not be surprised, even though there's no guarantee, that we would require an intermittent boosting somewhat similar to what we see about the requirement of a flu shot each year.
So at this point, the CDC is not formally recommending the shot, but leaving it up to people to make their own decisions based on health, risk, and age. U.S. COVID deaths have fallen to their lowest daily average since before the Omicron variant took hold. Fewer than 800 COVID deaths nationwide are being reported each day, the lowest since mid-August last year. The 7-day average of new COVID cases is also nearing pre-Omicron surge levels. It's hovered around 30,000 per day, which matches levels not seen since July.
Home prices continue to rise, and it doesn't look like things will slow down anytime soon. The latest numbers from the U.S. National Home Price Index show prices rose more than 19% in January from the year before. That is the fourth largest year-to-year jump in the 35 years since the index came out. Things are especially heating up in Arizona and Florida. Prices were up more than 30% in those states. Tight supply and high demand is outweighing higher mortgage rates for now. New data from the federal government shows the U.S. worker shortage is far from over. The federal government reports U.S. businesses had 11.3 million job openings to fill last month. That is slightly more than economists had predicted. The level of available positions showed little change from the start of the year, but took things below the December all-time high of 11.4 million.
We're just 6 days away from the Senate Judiciary Committee's vote on Ketanji Brown Jackson, the president's pick for the next Supreme Court justice. Utah Republican Senator Mitt Romney has yet to announce whether he will vote in favor of Brown Jackson. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, meantime, not just supporting her as the next justice, but condemning behavior seen from colleagues during her confirmation hearings.
It was embarrassing. Really, That's not who we are. It's not what we're sent here to do, to attack other people and just try and tear them down, and I'm not going to be part of that. I think she's extremely well qualified, and I think she'll be an exemplary judge.
If the committee advances her nomination to the full floor of the Senate, that vote could come as early as April 8th.
Developing now, top Ukrainian military officials say their forces have now retaken most of Irpin, a Kyiv suburb that has been inundated by attacks from Russian troops. They say about 90 to 95% of the city is now under local control. That news comes as the heads of the Ukrainian and Russian delegations held a side meeting with peace negotiations underway in Turkey. The delegations are meeting in Istanbul with Turkish officials mediating the process. President Volodymyr Zelensky says his country is prepared to declare its neutrality and consider a compromise on contested areas in the eastern Donbass region.
Russia now says it will significantly scale back some of its military operations, but can that claim be trusted? Scott Thuman, who has reported from both Russia and Ukraine in the past, has the very latest.
Well, obviously things can change very quickly, but the announcement from Russia during this negotiating process is that it will significantly pull back its military attacks against Kyiv and another key northern city. If true, that would be the first real progress at slowing this war. However, and this is a big caveat, Tuesday afternoon, President Biden and his State Department expressed real serious doubt that Russia can be trusted on this. John Kirby saying Russia has moved a small number of forces away from the capital and may be repositioning but not withdrawing, and still poses a real threat to Kyiv. And he argues that Russia has even admitted it is refocusing efforts to take over the Donbass, the area in the east.
Nobody should be fooling ourselves by the Kremlin's now recent claim that it will suddenly just reduce military attacks near Kyiv, or any reports that it's going to withdraw all its forces.
The Pentagon multiple times Tuesday describing Russia still as an acute threat and that it may just be moving the goalposts. Meanwhile, Russia also reportedly floated the idea of a possible meeting now between Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's Zelensky. We'll stay tuned for more on that. In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
All right, so the part of that, there's a number of things that are interesting there, but one of the things that really caught my ear was he said, Putin says that they're going to begin withdrawal troops or, slow down of, whatever. And he says, but can that claim be trusted? And all I could think was, you mean like, we trust all the other claims by the military-industrial complex, Warhawks, military-industrial complex. These people act like somehow no one is to be trusted except for them and Biden. Even Trump wasn't supposed to be trusted. No one is to be trusted except for the mainstream media, except for what the Pentagon says, except for what, and all they do is lie to us. So we're stuck in this place where, let's just talk about Will Smith for a minute, because we're all gonna die a minute later. And that day is gonna be so glorious. I can't wait. All of us being raptured together at the same time. I can't imagine anything more beautiful. Well, we were talking about twins earlier. Maybe. Hello, caller.
Hey, man, what's going on?
I told you, Craig!
Hey, look, I've been chiming back and forth, I've been doing stuff in the house, but I want to let you know something amazing how things just work out.
Right on.
Okay, so I have no idea what you're talking about, but I seen that Oscar episode with Chris Rock got hit, and I just got them. I got some awesome movie in the mail today. Chris Rock, Head of State.
Bam!
Right?
Ha!
You know what? I'm like, why is the odds of that?
I'm in tune, man. I'm right there. I know what's going on. How about you? You know what's going on, Merle?
Well, I know my neighbor texted me today some fallout shelters for nuclear war here in the state of Missouri. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. I'm just going to say that I don't believe our federal government, including our military, wouldn't prepare a defense mechanism, which the Air Force knows about it, the Navy knows about it. I'm Army, I don't know about it. How to, mitigate those risks when it comes to like shit coming our way, because we got thousands of miles of waterways, Pacific and the Atlantic. But I feel your anxiety.
I don't have any anxiety.
All right, then.
I look forward to us all being raptured at the same time. Ask Ty, she knows what I'm talking about. It's gonna be beautiful, man.
Hey, man, she don't believe in dinosaurs. Let's tone it down now, okay? All right, I'm just telling you. Let's not get on that topic yet, Mom.
You gonna come slap me?
All right. The devil is a lie. I gotta speak the way my wife would speak. The devil is a lie. Yeah. She be on that shit, man. Yeah. But nah, man. Hey, anyway, I'm just checking up. What's going on? Talk to me.
I'm getting ready to plant some seeds, and I think on April.
Me too.
April 1st, I'm going to start some seeds. Did you figure out what kind of are you going to plant outside or inside?
I'd be inside, man.
Inside. Well, did you figure out what kind of light? Do you get a light yet?
No. Well, I'm just following. Well, my neighbor is doing all that. Like he has his own thing.
Yeah.
And I've just been like helping him set stuff up. And going to the store shopping with them.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they give like 10% discounts to veterans. I fucking love it. Like the store that sells the stuff, to build up or whatever, they're experts in there, man. They got High Time magazines from front to cover, But yeah, man. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Awesome.
And I appreciate the email and everything. And it's just I watched how he set his up.
Yeah.
And he got plants and everything, but it looks nice.
Yeah, no, you got to. It's good to go with what you know, because that way, you're not getting like, oh, now how do we do this and how do we do that,
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning.
Yeah, man.
Especially in the beginning.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna be interesting, but yeah, man. But can't wait to watch the movie you sent me, man. That movie's a good movie, man. Isn't that funny? Chris Rock Head of State and his ass gets smacked. Right? Anyway, I know you didn't talk about that shit, but that's a sad day for black men, I tell you.
I would have really liked to have seen Dwayne Johnson hosting and seen Will Smith try and get away with the same thing.
Well, you know what's really... Well, it's sad because I was talking to like some of my friends yesterday. And these are like older black dudes in their 50s and 60s. And they was all just disappointed in how it went down. They was like, he could have talked, like after the show back, he got the Oscar. He knew he was going to get the fucking Oscar any fucking way.
Yeah.
But you know what? But then again, he's a Scientologist. Not Scientologist, Scientology. Yeah, that fucking religion.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of says something, man. But anyway, it is what it is.
I didn't even think about it from a black man's perspective. I wouldn't know how, of course.
Well,
but go ahead.
If you look at it, Moss,
yeah,
every stereotype. To be honest, it's if you really look at the joke.
Yeah.
He called her G.I. Jane. Okay, if he didn't know about her condition, you could have took the joke like this way. She's a strong woman. She's going through adversity. Boom, boom, bam. Right?
Yeah.
But the dude laughed at the joke, and his wife looked at him, and then he gets on stage and assaults the man. And he's a jester. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
So now what's going to happen? Everyone's going to get on stage and slap a comedian in every town when they're on stage.
Right.
I mean, so and what my one buddy that was black, it was a big discussion. They was arguing back and forth, and I was like in the middle listening. And one guy was like, "Listen, this is going to make young black men feel they can go up there and do that to other black men. Meaning you can't take a joke, you can't take constructive criticism, blah, 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 blah." And the other guy was trying to say, well, he was defending his wife's honor. And I'm like, dude, like, they put all the business out there all the time. They got to stay relevant, and it was sad. Let me tell you something, Mark. It was sad for, like, black men during that shit because it's like, damn, you worked all those years. Like, Chris Rock was telling jokes when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Will Smith's been writing rhymes since he was a teenager. And then you get up in there in the mid-50s and behave that way.
Yeah.
You just destroyed everything that both of you really worked hard for. But at the end of the night, yeah, you're going to win, you're going to get the clout. But I think it's going to be a black cloud on Will Smith when it comes to the black community, real talk.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense for him to do it on stage. He could have done it anywhere. It just makes no sense whatsoever, Brandon. So, you go to the after party and you drop a cocktail. What kind of fucking hit is that? What kind of fucking pussy walks up and slaps somebody? If it's a woman, you slap a woman, okay? You don't want to ever hit a woman with a closed fist. But if you're fucking pissed off and you're gonna take a swing at somebody, fucking, you take a swing at them. Not this fucking slappity slap stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense there again.
Yeah. Well, but then again, you got to look at his whole mental state. His whole family's fucked up.
He looks pretty fucked up. I agree. If you look in his eyes, he looks pretty fucked up.
If you look at me, what he was saying, like, read my name, read my wife's name, he was trembling because he was scared when he was saying it. But I thought he was from West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, it was just a sad, I'm just telling you, in the black community, especially for black men, it's a sad day. Because those are two icons that everyone's looked up to. They're good actor, hell of a comedian. That makes good movies, by the way. Chris Rock makes great movies because I'm watching one now called Hesitation. Yeah. But it's just sad. It's just sad, Mark. They're like, really? Come on. But, hey, I listened to somebody today, and they said that Chris Rock should have said, this is what happens when black people turn to Oscars instead of Source Awards.
I just honestly, I don't believe it. I mean, they're actors, and
that's a hard pill to swallow for Chris Rock to be able to spin that, flip that, and make a lot of money off of it.
Yeah, he's guaranteed to get the next year's Oscars host. He's guaranteed to host the Oscars next year. I mean, everybody's gonna want to tune in now. It's like Chris Rock, and oh man, you remember last year?
Yeah, well, but yeah, it's all bullshit, man.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of weird and fucked up, man. But now, man. But besides that, I really haven't been paying attention to the news. I just know that I've been watching a lot of videos of like shit getting blowed up in Ukraine, which hey, that's sad to watch.
Yeah. You know what? I don't watch it. I look at Brandon. I'm so tired of this death and destruction bullshit. It's like it just doesn't end with these people. It's like they don't want it to end. You know what I mean? The last thing they want is for this to be over. They love this stuff, and all it does is drive everyone else around the world in humanity insane. And That's what I keep saying. Just don't. Just pay attention to your garden, Brandon. And your family. You'll just be so much better off.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Like that's pretty much what we focus on now as a family.
Yeah.
Like we're past like I said, like we don't have cable. Like we
got
the app.
Yeah.
And we got the antenna on our TV. You know, you just screw in and stick it on the wall.
Yeah.
And here in St. Louis, like we pick up tons of channels. It's like the basic shit you want to watch. But it's so sad because you never hear anything good. Like you really got to dig deep in the back of the newspaper to find good fucking stories.
Yeah, it's. I watch the local, you know, because it has a different feel to it, but it's just all, you know, this person got shot and this was a robbery and there was this horrible, it's just the same fucking thing. This horrible. Life is so dangerous and bad right now. It's like, you know, I watch comedy movies almost. That's like almost the only thing I watch. Anything where it has like violins all the time and people crying. You know, I don't need that shit added to my life, you know?
Yeah, man, it's chaos, man. But, it's chaos. And like when you talking about how these people, they like that death and destruction, I think that those people who like that death and destruction, to be honest with you, were people who didn't want it to affect people who they could relate to. They didn't give a fuck about the Middle East. Now Europe's getting like fucked up, and everyone's got something to say about it. They're like, whoa, wait a minute, we can't behave in this way.
Yeah.
You know, you see what I'm saying? So it's a little more complicated, and now that situation in Ukraine has brought on what's going on in Yemen. You know,
Yemen's been going on for a long time, dude.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. They're destroying. You know, they just bombing these poor people. Yemen
was this beautiful country. I mean, for desert and such, but there's all this ancient architecture, and it's just been reduced to rubble. I mean, this is. It's horrible, and it's been going on for well over a decade. So,
yeah, oh yeah, man. You know, but the thing is, that doesn't that doesn't get the taxpayers' attention.
Yeah.
Because if somebody really you don't like anyway, they don't look like you, they don't have your same philosophy on, let's just say, religion.
Yeah.
You know, or women or whatever. So you don't care about them. And now you see what's going on over here, and then there's this thing about, well, where is X, Y, and Z money or resources going? Oh, well, we have all these weapons, and Saudi Arabia dropped bombs on Yemen. You know, and then the average person who don't know about stuff like that, because they only pay attention to the mainstream media, they don't read articles written by real journalists, they don't know nothing about it. You know, so it's interesting.
It's horrible. Look, it's horrible. This is the problem. It's not. I don't think it's interesting. I think it's horrific, and that humans deserve so much better than what's the current state of the world. And I wasn't saying that so much these people that are in charge like this war thing, this never-ending war. It's not that they like it so much as that it works really well for them. They don't want it to go away, because as long as they have that, they have the excuse to get away with almost anything, including stealing billions and billions of dollars. So.
Oh yeah, of course, man.
So they don't want it to change at all.
Well, but now this is the problem now, Mark. Is that all that money, all that European money that is invested in those cities that have been totally destroyed, all that money was loaned to somebody for them to buy those buildings. You know, what insurance company is going to pay the bank off? Out of all that country being destroyed, so they fucking up the money. And typically, white folks don't fuck up their own money. This is fucking up their money. So they have a hard time seeing how they're going to deal with it, and leave some faith on Russia where they can kind of feel fucking proud. But I think the Russians are so ignorant and they don't know nothing just because of how that country works. That they don't know shit, bro. They don't know nothing.
About what?
Just
Nothing about what?
Just the world. Because I seen it when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we rode through Baghdad, all we seen was just pictures of Saddam Hussein, painted statues, all this crazy stuff.
But
right?
you think
And
think the people wanted it that way?
Well, I would say that they have been brought up in a system to where people raise their children that way. So their children don't never, rebel, ask questions. They just follow suit.
Kind of like America.
Yeah, well, now we got freedom. We can look shit up and read a book, Yeah. But again, it's about how you're raised and what structure. Like here in America, if you're raised a certain way, then you can dictate your friends. Like I want to be a Red Sox fan, so I'm only going to associate with Red Sox fans or whatever. But over there, it's one thing everywhere, so you have no option.
Yeah,
at least you can grow up a Red Sox fan and one day be a Yankee fan, and you can make that decision for yourself, and you won't be punished. But over there, you can't make that decision.
Right. It's like
you will be severely punished.
Yeah.
You don't have freedom.
Well, that's what I'm saying about the murals of Saddam everywhere. It's not like, people are going out and graffitiing over those fucking murals. And it's not like Saddam was the most loved person in that country. So, they don't have a choice. It's not a matter that they're somehow, like you said, they don't have a choice. They can't read books. They can't search the kind of things that they want. But I think, we see stuff like that here, like Hunter Biden's laptop, I mean,
Yeah.
anybody who talked about that was kicked off of social media. And the January 6th, so many other things, the coronavirus, if you have, we don't really have freedom of speech here either. But it's not as drastic as when Saddam was in charge.
Well, one thing that is very good that's happening is everybody on certain levels, whatever of the spectrum that they live their life on, a lot of people on different spectrums are getting censored. And so they have a lot of stuff in common, meaning if you're on the left, you're on the right, you say this, you say that, you can may disagree, but you can both disagree like, well, I think you're lying, but I don't think you should be censored. And that's just the problem, because what happens if you don't have censorship and you can get a really good following and everyone can just follow, and the next thing you know, you have another Holocaust.
You know what? I mean, in the cancel culture, woke culture, I think, I don't see a Holocaust. I see, you know what I see? It's not the Holocaust that the government's afraid of. It's not the Holocaust that the social media tech giants are afraid of. It's a fucking revolution where the people say enough, and they take back their country, and they take back their government, and they take back their social media, because it's our goddamn social media, you fucking cunts!
Well, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But you got to put the right people in. Again, it goes back to you got to whenever we do take it back, right? Well, who we going to put in charge to control it and run it? You see, you like me, it's just amongst ourselves. The however many leaders.
Well, look.
Look.
Here's how we figure that. Here's how we figure that out, Brandon. We allow, 20 people, 20 different actual nominees, okay? So we don't really, we can have some kind of primary system where they vote it down to where there's 20 people, okay? And that way you have kind of a well-rounded range of people. And it's not just Democrats and it's not just Republicans, it's everybody, including people that are independents, they don't have any party at all. Right?
I know what you're saying.
So we take those 20 people and we put them on a debate stage, right? And here's the deal. The debates are completely unscripted. Every single question comes from the audience, and the debaters debate until the audience doesn't want to ask any more questions. It's an endurance thing to see who can actually handle being in office and having to go on a 24-hour day where all the pressure's on. Because I'll tell you what, after about fucking 4 hours, the majority of them are going to fall off. So, and I think that would actually be interesting. I think you'd have a billion people tune in.
On TV.
Yeah, fucking A, man.
A stress test. Okay.
Not just a stress test. Not just a stress test. It's also these people in an unscripted format taking actual questions on live TV from real people. Again and again and again. Anyone who wants to come up to the microphone. I think that would be incredibly fascinating. And it would be really simple to be able to pick a true leader out of that kind of situation.
You know what? This is what I will say that you will have a problem with that format. Is that, let's just say it's a call-in show, like you're doing, right?
Uh-huh.
And you would have people who would call in, get randomly selected to ask their question to the candidate. Now, it is randomly, right? So you never know, hey, caller 4, you're talking to whoever, right? Boom. And you ask, whatever question you're going to ask, it goes to all of them. I think what you're going to see is a lot of dumb questions that the Constitution already speaks for. Okay? Well, meaning some people are going to be highly educated and really ask a good question about health care, right? Meaning the funding and blah, 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 blah. But then you're going to have some person who's just going to call and talk about that 7-Eleven won't sell him a Big Gulp no more because he doesn't stay to fucking New York. You know.
Well, you know what? I think that that's a valid issue, okay? But besides that, I think that I don't think it should be a call-in thing. I think there should be numerous events and that they should be in large coliseums, and people should be allowed just to stand up and ask their question, go over to a microphone and wait for their turn to ask their question. And again,
that's not going to work with 20,000 people in an arena, or 8,000 or 2,500. You know, I mean, how many questions are you going to be asked, and is it random? You know, I mean, again, that's where that one person asked a stupid question, just like I said, well, what about when you going to put Jesus back in school, right?
This again is an important question, Brandon. This is a very important question. If somebody's going to stand up there and say, I will put Jesus back in the schools from day one, then you know that's not somebody that you want to vote for.
Well, but what I'm saying is, what I'm getting at is, if you take that person, that's why, okay, what I'm saying is that's a stupid question, so that person shouldn't even waste that candidate's time.
I just told you it's an important question. It's not a stupid. The big cult question is not a stupid question either. Because if somebody from New York State is saying, hey, I can't get a big gulp, what he's saying is, are you going to spread this across the United States to where nobody can buy a big gulp anymore? It's a very valid question.
Well, okay, yeah, and maybe the answer would be, well, according to our data, and the people who give us money, like the insurance companies, say if we cut down Big Gulp and stop selling them, we can cut down diabetes by 3% in 4 years.
And see, there you go. This is that's why it's an important question to see how people deal with it. Just like all these other questions that you might not think are important, that you might think are dumb, but you know, if you actually, like you were talking about the Constitution has already defined these things. Well, apparently the Constitution hasn't defined things like freedom of speech and the Second Amendment. In my opinion, it has, but according to this government, apparently it has not. So I think that those are all valid questions too. This is the whole point. You're taking questions from the heart and soul of America. You're not taking these, scripted questions from billionaire fucking lackeys that are like, okay, you can ask this question. It's not. It's just got this thing where we'd actually get to know who the candidates are, because it wouldn't be like, okay, now they're going to ask this question. It's like, what the fuck are they going to ask next? And I'm sure most of them would be thinking in their mind, what kind of stupid fucking question is that? What kind of idiotic question are they going to ask next? Instead of just listening to the people. Because what's happening is the people are desperate for a candidate they can actually believe in. And I think that if they were there in this format in city after city, that the people would really find a leader, a true and real leader, and hopefully it wouldn't be a politician.
Well, you know what? To be honest, as you were talking, when you said the people are looking for a leader, and then I went to Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He got a sitcom out where he's running for president and talking about his childhood. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's called like Little Rock or whatever. It's called something. But anyway, I forget. But anyway, it's pretty good. I didn't watch all the episodes. I'm kind of behind the scenes. But it's pretty good. About him growing up in the wrestling business with his daddy, blah, 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 blah. College.
Yeah, I saw some kind of a trailer or whatever for that.
A trailer on it.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, it's pretty good. It goes back and forth throughout his childhood, each episode, right? And it's little stories that kind of give nuggets to how someone watching it can learn about their own life. That's what I do like about it. It kind of reminds me of like when you was a little kid watching cartoons, at the end of cartoons, and it'd be like, "Hey kids, this is G.I. Joe. Don't do X, Y, and Z." It was it's something similar to that. So whenever you was talking about, the people need somebody, I was just seeing like Dwayne Johnson to pop out, because every fucking candidate's going to fucking suck, bro, on both fucking parties.
Right, that's the problem. That's exactly the party. That's exactly the problem. Is all we get is these professional politicians from this bullshit side and this bullshit side. We don't get to hear from anybody, any real humans. These people are all goddamn robots who are just in it for themselves.
Yeah, because if you think about it, since he was always the people's champ, if he came out and said, "Look, I'm gonna take the left and I'm gonna take the right, and I'm gonna make policies that gonna make everybody meet in the middle," it's game over then. Because but then again, it's like, does he want to put his life through that type of scrutiny? Like, what girl gave a blowjob in the back of a Chevy when he was traveling from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Kansas City? You know what I'm saying? Because he was a performer.
Yeah, no, I thought when he started talking about running for president, that was the first thing I thought too.
Yeah, but he kept a clean act,
Seems like it.
Yeah, to be that public and everything, you don't really hear a lot about bullshit. But then again, he kind of understood. He grew up a minority in a business that was dominated, by like white performers. His father did it, was a black guy, and he married a Samoan lady or whatever from whatever, and he had that side of the family, and he just maintained good order and discipline throughout his personally known life, I'll say. Like, there's no crazy pictures of him throwing up in a trash can or slapping somebody getting on stage, or whatever. The guy's a professional, but do you want to take your freedom and really throw it in there when you can work hard for 4 years, right? But let's just say you went one direction in policy and they make up shit on you and you don't win. Okay, or either you stay 8 years, do a good job, and someone comes in and fucks it all up.
Yeah.
You see, so it's like, damn, like everyone thought, this guy was the best president, then shit, 30 years later, they see what shit he passed, and they're suffering from it. So it's interesting. Yeah. But that's probably the reason why older people like doing the job, because they want to die before everybody figures out how well they fucking.
Yeah, I think that again, these people are fucking professional politicians. That's why they like doing the job, because, like, we got this whole creepy Uncle Joe thing going on, where he fondles at every woman that gets close to him,
Yeah.
And he could only get away with that as a professional politician, which makes it 10 times more disgusting, in my opinion, because he stands right there and does it in front of everyone, and nothing gets done about it. So, man, but
when it comes to that situation with Biden, this is my look on that. I've seen it. To me, it's nothing that I would do, because I'm not the type of person who touches a lot of people. Okay, like, I never understood sports when they smack guys on the ass.
Yeah, well, that's different, dude. That's different. That's different. I don't understand that either, and I that's partially why I can't watch the NFL, because it's just too much time focused on guys' asses.
I get you, but I could never just I never physically wanted to have that connection where I'm physical with someone in an open setting, where you're talking like you see where in certain situations, two guys will be talking and one guy put his hand on his shoulder and pat him on the chest with his other hand, like, hey, that's just not me. I would just talk to you the same way, like, all right, bro, whatever. I would never go through those motions. And meaning, I'm just not that type of physical person for anybody, unless they're family.
Well, yeah, that's
it's hugs and kisses.
It's like
but that extra shit, I just don't get.
Well, it's like you're saying about The Rock, and not have any pictures or whatever. You know that there's a fuck ton of people who just come up to him, they're drunk or whatever, and they're there, I'm gonna fuck with this guy, you know what I mean? And because he's always gonna, this guy who's like the muy macho guy is always gonna attract these people who gotta prove who they fucking are, and so he knows, the last thing you want to do is ever be like any kind of hothead around these people. You just look at them and smile, that's the thing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you're The Rock and you're in a meeting with really smart people, and they're like, let me be your agent, and we're going to see who's going to pay for you the most, the Republicans or the Democrats, to run as candidates, that shit would be fucking on fire, bro. Because he's so fucking popular. Like, believe me.
And that's the point with The Rock, is that Dwayne, is that he would transcend parties. So it's not, he shouldn't even think about a party. He should just run. He should just run as an independent. He doesn't even have to worry about getting into debates or having a big primary thing. He just needs to get out. He's got this platform. He's got this platform where he would immediately reach everyone. Every word that he was to say, people would hang on, very much like Donald Trump did. So only he would be 10 times. He would be 10 times better than it. What's that?
But listen though. Look how they're doing Donald Trump, who lost his job.
Oh, yeah.
He has no platform.
Yeah.
He has nothing. He has no platform. He has to pretty much type a letter up, and it's got to be published from his publisher to get out of what he's talking about. Really, he has to go on TV or whatever to speak, right?
Yeah.
If
which is a big part of why I say he's not going to run for president in 2024. Why would he put himself through that again? Go ahead.
Well, he would. If he ran independent, he would need a lot of money up front to at least last him through Iowa. He could probably win.
Talking about Dwayne?
And when they go up, it's like Iowa's the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if he won Iowa, I think the other ones like Massachusetts or Maine, it's up on the northeast coast, and when it comes to the South, he'll win South Carolina. It's just strategically, like, how much dirt and dig are they going to get in him and try to, make him look like shit? Because both parties are going to do it. Everyone's going to do it, but again, can the people come together? Meaning, can the people really come together and say, you know what? We all agree that what happened to George Floyd was wrong. We all agree on term limits. We all agree upon this. So let's make it happen together. And just the basics, and they can put their bullshit to the side. You know the little personal business about abortion, religion, or what the fuck ever. You know. But that's what he would have to do, man. And if he can do it, but he's gonna have the money and to go out there and really talk to people. Not everyone watches his fucking movies.
You know what? It's like you said, Brandon. He's not going to do it because he doesn't want to put himself through that shit. And I don't know if that's why we never get any good candidates, because they don't want to put themselves through that, put themselves out there. What I really think is that we're just not allowed to see or hear anyone except for professional politicians. And it's because the professional politicians know the game. They're going to play the game. If they become president, they're going to play the game until they fucking get the job. They're going to play the game because it's like you said with Tulsi Gabbard. You know, you don't play the game, and then next thing you know, you're not welcome to play the game anymore. So
well, I haven't, and something that you may want to look into is since I moved to Missouri. When I moved to Missouri in 2016, I think it was, our governor was getting investigated. This guy was a retired Navy SEAL. So I'm like, oh shit, we got a governor that's a Navy SEAL to the state I just moved to? I'm like, I've never heard. But he got investigated, and he resigned for cheating on his wife, some other crazy, some weird shit he got going on with this lady. And he resigned, and now he's back, and he's running for senator, and he's leading the fucking polls.
You know who Rick Scott is? Senator from Florida.
Florida, yeah, I don't like him. Yeah.
That guy committed. You can look this up on the Google.
I know.
He committed the biggest fucking Medicare fraud in the history of Medicare frauds, like billions of dollars. Okay, Rick Scott, Senator Rick Scott, who then, after committing the biggest Medicare fraud in history, went on to become the governor of Florida, and then went on to become the senator from Florida. Okay, and this is the government that we have.
Well, again, that's where can The Rock withstand the blitzkrieg, because he's obviously the most popular man in America, to withstand everything that will come after him, to secure the vote of the people, since he says he's the people's champ, right? Meaning his rational persona, right? And getting the people's elbow. But when you see the corruption of it, to where how Rick Scott had to settle the biggest, fraud, and pay the government money, billions of dollars.
Yeah.
The company did. But they made a fucking profit at the end of the day.
That's right. That's I think they scammed like $4 or $5 billion, and then had to pay $1 billion fine.
And then they settled. Yeah. And then they settled, right?
Yeah.
So, but what's amazing is the people of Florida, that's not important to them about his character.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's something. Now, this is just me when it comes to Republicans. There's something about character that is compromised on that they stand for. Okay? And all I can just tell you is look at the demographics of the Republican Party, and that's all I think the voter really cares about. The demographics of that person running for candidate. They don't care about their dirt. They don't care what affiliation they used to be involved with. They just care about that person's demographics. That's it. And because it just don't make no sense. Why would you hire a guy to be the senator when his company got sued the most for when he was CEO or whatever? Right? Like, that's not good leadership. But you made him governor. Well, why did you do that?
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like, but you're Christian. He was stealing money, but
from sick people,
okay.
from
So
money that was supposed to help sick people.
Yeah, yeah, and old people on top of that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, well, but you know what? Again, they got one thing in common. It's their demographic, and that's the most important thing. They don't care about it. So they say they're literally selling themselves to the devil, like that Purdue family, right? They paid trillions of whatever, however much money they settled for the opiate stuff.
Yeah.
And the records are sealed. You'll never see them.
Yeah.
You'll never see what the findings were. Like, they knew their intentions to get everyone addicted to make money. But they couldn't have that come out. So they sealed it, and they paid the money. You know, so, and that just kind of tells you that really, it's never really about the people. It's about, in this country, it's about capitalism, market share, shareholders, you know, and profit. And after that, they don't give a shit, man.
It's never about the people. Never about the people. They could give a fuck about the working class. They want you terrified and poor as possible.
Well, they just want to be in a position to control you. That's it.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Meaning, you know, kind of dictate where you live at, kind of dictate how much money you make, how you provide, how big your family can be, because you can only afford one kid or two kids, but let's say you want to have 4 or 5, but you just can't afford it, you know. That's total control.
Yeah.
Whenever you're like, I can't afford a kid.
Yeah.
Well, what happens to it takes a village or a tribe to raise a child.
Right.
Well, no, this not America no more. This not America no more. This ain't no Leave It to Beaver neighborhood.
You know,
if some bitch get ran over, he get ran over in the street.
You know, I've been going to the grocery store, right? And there's just stuff I can't find, like mac and cheese, right? I can't find frozen mac and cheese, and I'm like, this is not the America that I'm used to. This is not the land of plenty. What the fuck is happening? So, it's not America anymore. There's some shit going on. And I keep thinking I'm going to go to the fucking grocery store next and it's going to be like half of the shit that I want to find. There was one bottle of sriracha on the fucking shelf when I went there the other day. And I was like,
wow,
this is mine. I'm not going to live without this shit.
Okay, well, if you need some powdered food, let me know. Okay?
I will. I'll let you know, bro.
Yeah, but that's just how it is. Like meaning, when you go to the grocery store and you see like, wait a minute, there's less X, Y, and Z here. Why is it?
Yeah.
Typically, most Americans just don't understand the complex chain of how it really works in this country. Most people just get up, go to work, come home, the lights cut on, the toilet flushes, there's warm water, cold water. If there's a problem with cable, they make a phone call, and someone's already trying to fix it. You know. It's more complicated than that, you know. It's you know, and I think that we're just, you know, we've had it good, Mom. We've had it good. So, but I don't think we need to go to the bunker. I think our Air Force and our Navy has our back, and we're good. But I am very interested in seeing the new toys when it all pops off.
The what now?
I'm very interested to see the new toys that we have when it all pops off.
I'm very interested in seeing pictures. You'll have to show me. Oh, you mean you're talking about weapons? You're talking about weapons, huh? It's not going to pop off. Nobody's going to shoot a fucking nuclear weapon, dude. It's ridiculous. And unless it's some kind of false flag shit where they want us to be even more terrified than we already are. Because, oh my God, nuclear war is a reality now.
People that would be, but that's just, listen, I've been in those situations where you're in briefing, like top secret briefings or whatever, and you hear shit come out, and they tell you what it's going to do to the local population if the mission goes X, Y, and Z, right? So you know, meaning like if something pops off over there, you still got how it's going to affect the local population. Here, you got to worry about panic. Everyone's going and buying all the bread and water up, blah blah blah, like the storm's coming. You know,
toilet paper.
Right?
They're gonna get all the toilet paper on the shelves.
Yeah, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, like that's gonna be the first thing that's gonna burn them up in a circular nuclear bomb. It's toilet paper. Okay. It's the last thing your ass gonna need. But yeah, Mark. But hey, man, thanks for that great movie you had to say, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna holler at you later, all right, boss?
Hey, go watch Free Guy. Have you watched Free Guy yet?
Half of it. I fell asleep. I
Fell
watched it
asleep?
late at night and dozed off. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good to hear from you always, okay?
Okay, man.
Tell Ty Mike says hi.
All right, Todd, Mike said hi.
All right.
All right.
Talk to you later.
All right.
That's our buddy 2 Bronze Star Brandon. It's always good to hear from him. I told Craig, I went downstairs to heat up my tea, and I told Craig, I'm going to come upstairs and I'm going to say the words military industrial complex, and Brandon will call like 2 minutes later. And I don't think it took two minutes for him to call. So I know how to play this game, man. And he just got a DVD from me, which I sent last week, of Chris Rock. So I am in tune, baby. I know where I got my finger on the pulse. So as I was saying, I'm gonna go heat up my tea and I'll be right back. If anybody wants to call, the number's up there on the screen, 805-669-6397. This video is about Hunter Biden's laptop and the Republicans saying that if they take charge of the Congress in this next election, this midterm election, that they will not only go after the information that has been hidden from us about Hunter Biden's laptop and connection and business deals, but also they intend to go after the big tech companies which hid all this information, which is actual story, an actual true story. The social media companies hid this information. They banned people from posting this information. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and then so these people, Darrell Issa in particular is interviewed in this story, and it's a very short clip. And he says that they're going to investigate the big tech companies for conspiracy to, keep this information hidden from the public right before election. That's a big deal, man, and they should be investigated. And I hope they get more than just a fine. I think that the social media companies need to be, broke up or something. I'm going to play a video, and I'll be right back. And we'll do something then, okay?
The House Select Committee investigating last year's riot here at the U.S. Capitol says former President Trump's phone logs show a significant gap of more than 7.5.
Not that one. Let's see. This one.
GOP lawmakers on Capitol Hill are once again setting their sights on big tech. They suggest there will likely be a new round of investigations should they win back the majority in the House or the Senate in the midterm elections.
Christine Frizzau gives us a closer look at who they're targeting and what they're planning.
GOP lawmakers returning to a familiar accusation of questionable business dealings by Hunter Biden that occurred while his father was vice president, but this time targeting big tech, which they say played a major role in limiting the spread of information on the matter just before the 2020 election. California Republican Congressman Darrell Issa has now sent letters to multiple people, including big tech CEOs and top government officials, demanding they preserve documents, communications, and electronic data related to this matter. Just this month, the New York Times appeared to confirm the authenticity of a laptop belonging to the president's son, detailed in a series of stories in the New York Post in October of 2020 that raised questions about business dealings he made with officials from Russia and China. The story was at first prevented from being shared on Twitter and limited by Facebook, decisions that were soon reversed, but which ISA says shows there may have been a coordinated effort between such companies, intelligence officials, and the mainstream media.
The New York Post was essentially made to disappear by a concerted effort that said it was untrue, that it was Russian misinformation.
Following the story in the New York Post, more than 50 former intelligence officials signed onto this letter, stating it had the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation.
When you see a cartel of action against free speech, it has to concern you. When you see a cartel of action against free speech on the eve of a national election, it concerns you even more.
Some media experts say it showed a double standard in the media.
You think about the Podesta emails or the Steele dossier, both of those cases, the media just ran and just did a huge amount of coverage on it without being able to verify. This time there was crickets.
Still, Democrats call the effort by ISA politically motivated.
Republicans want to change the subject. I see the same people that are going after him or the people that protected Donald Trump's family every chance they could on the sort of abusive practices.
In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell.
That's so nice. Hi, Pete. Where's Pete? I heard Pete was in here. There's Pete. All right. So where were we? We were talking about Dwayne Johnson running for President of the United States of America. I question whether, someone like that would actually have to sign up with a political party. I think that he could run as an independent. And then, you see, someone high profile like that, what was douchebag's name with the big ears? He ran as an independent, and he was actually invited to take part in the debate, the presidential debate between the Democrats and the Republicans. He was invited on stage. What the hell was that? I got it. It's right there on the tip of my brain. If Dwayne Johnson was to run and actually have an overwhelming support kind of thing, I think that if they weren't to invite him up on the stage as an independent, knowing how much support he had, it would just show overwhelmingly the corruption that exists in the political system. Because, I don't think they're not going to let Dwayne Johnson come up if he has overwhelming support. But Dwayne Johnson, again, he's not going to do this. He has no reason to do this. The guy is sitting on a pile of money, a mountain high, and he's got it. It's just on fucking cruise control. He's like Brandon was saying, he's like the most beloved man, I don't know, around the world, whatever. So, why would you mess that up with politics? Knowing how slimy politics is. It's just, how all these evil people that are going to do everything in their power to sway you into being evil too. You want to go in there to clean it up? You want to go in there to be the man for the people, the voice for the people. I love the idea. It's a beautiful idea. I keep saying, how come we can't get someone genuinely smart? I bet the Dwayne Johnson is fucking brilliant. Okay, it's not easy to do the kind of acting that he does. Hello, caller.
Hello, host with the most.
What's up, G?
forth trying to carve up this roast. But, 2 weeks ago, Victoria Nuland basically copped to those 16 bioweapons or biological facilities in Ukraine, right? You remember that, right?
No, I'm not sure when that event happened or where it happened or any of that.
Well, it happened on TV. It's all over TV. And
Are you saying it's an interview? Is that what you're saying, or?
yeah. Well, no, it was in front of Congress,
Mm.
and Marco Rubio asked her the question whether or not we have biological laboratories in Ukraine, and she said yes, and we're really trying to get a hold of them so that the Russians don't get a hold of them. We're trying to take control of them. So she copped to it, and at first I wasn't sure if it was just a conspiracy theory or not, but when she copped to it, everybody, Glenn Greenwald, Richard Medhurst, the Gray Zone, everybody realized that she had just copped in front of Congress to saying, yes, we have biological weapons facilities in Ukraine. But she didn't say weapons facilities. She said biological research labs. But we all know what that means. Now, what I'm getting to is just within the last couple of days, how does that hook into the Hunter Biden laptop? Because, Hunter Biden left his laptop in a repair shop, and the guy leaked the emails all over, and everybody's had them for a year or two by now, and everybody knows what's in them. But apparently, part of what's in them, and there was a lot in them, was, Hunter Biden sat on the board of a giant Ukrainian gas company called Burisma, right? And he was getting $50,000, $80,000 a month for doing nothing but his daddy's work. Before his daddy was president, and while Trump was president. So it came out very recently, just the last couple of days, that Hunter Biden was the guy, this is in his emails that everybody has, he was the guy that introduced this American biolab, MetaBio, I think the name is. He introduced those people who are government contractors with the Pentagon to Ukrainian officials. So Hunter Biden hooked up, a $290 million deal for bioweapons labs in Ukraine, and it's in his laptop information, which is leaked to all over the internet, all over the world, and everybody knows it. And Victoria Nuland, she didn't confirm that part, but she did confirm that we do have biolabs in Ukraine, and we want to get them away from the Russians because we're afraid of the Russians. And so that's pretty big news. That's I don't think that's like some non-story. That's a big deal that Hunter Biden even bragged about it in his emails, that he hooked up the deal with the Pentagon contractor for the bioweapons labs in Ukraine, which God knows where they are, who has them, I have no idea. But, yeah, more juicy details, more fear. Everybody be afraid. They're going to kill Santa Claus very soon.
They're going to kill us all, dude. Aren't you paying attention?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's up to Will Smith to save Santa Claus this year, because Will Smith, he's got that flying super machine that he can fly around and save Santa Claus this year and slap the Russians, and then it will all be safe.
Yeah, I want to see him slap Putin. That would be funny.
Yeah, didn't you ever see that movie Hancock? Man, he can...
Actually, I like that movie.
Yeah, I thought it was okay too, but I think after seeing the way the dude behaved the other night, it's like, man, what entitlement. You should have sat there, said nothing, and what you did was blow the whole thing up about 1,000,000 times bigger than it ever would have been. Everybody would have forgot about it.
Well, Chris Rock would have been the bad person, and now everything's focused on Will Smith. Chris Rock really stepped across the line when he was fucking talking about Will Smith's wife. You know, I mean, if Will Smith hadn't overreacted, nobody'd be talking about Will Smith.
Or his wife, or her hair, or her sexuality, or anything, other than the fact that the guy won an Oscar for some movie I'll probably never see. But that's no way to behave. What I see was a guy that thinks he's a superstar, and he could do that globally on TV and apparently get away with it. But now, in 10 years' time, people are don't pull Will Smith on me, man. It's like, it's never going to die down. It's like it's bigger than some porno tape leaked by a Hollywood actress. It's bigger than that. And it's created a lot of discussion, but I don't think people ought to be talking about it at all. I don't care about it, other than the fact that Will Smith is a dick. I don't. He's not he wasn't protecting anybody. He wasn't thinking.
Yeah, he's obviously mentally, there's something wrong with him mentally. But yeah, I don't think it should be talked about. Look, I can't stand this shit where, it's like, oh, we're all going to die from a deadly plague. Oh, we're all going to die. Everyone is going to die unless you do exactly as we say. Now, a word from our sponsors. We're all going to die in a nuclear holocaust. The nukes are pointed right at us. But let's talk about Will Smith first.
This nuclear war is brought to you by our sponsor, 7-Up. Like what? What?
This deadly plague is brought to you by
Pfizer. So I don't know, man. It's the world. Every time something happens, we always say the world can't get any crazier. But I'm waiting for the blue Kool-Aid to come out of the drinking fountains and Adam Sandler to run for president. And we got a guy that probably is incontinent and definitely doesn't have his marbles together. He's the president now, and Trump didn't have his marbles together either, but he would be pumping gas and staying the hell out of Ukraine, I'll tell you that much. Everything that Rudy Giuliani was saying 2-3 years ago happened to come true, but they squished it. I think that's the clip you just showed about the guy was talking about how they squished all the information during the presidential campaign. So, unfortunately, we're living in La La Land, and
La La Land would be much better, much funner than this.
La La Land is basically what Will Smith did the other night. That's La La Land. L.A. That's L.A., man. That's Hollywood. So I wish they would just turn the switch off on Hollywood and turn the switch off on these crazy people in Congress and in government and in the Pentagon. It's like the whole world is suffering from this plague that they unleashed on us, and all they can talk about is Russia and Will Smith and don't say gay and
you can't say gay?
Yeah, Florida passed that law, don't say gay law for the children,
What about homos? Can you say homos?
I'm not sure, man. But how about the survival of the human species and other species?
You are fucking dreaming, dude. That is just not going to happen. What planet do you live on?
Planet Defuncto. That's where I live, man. Planet Defuncto. That's why the aliens are going to come down soon, is to save us from ourselves.
Yeah. Why would they?
Yeah, well,
You can't fix stupid.
have you seen those memes where the aliens are up in space in their spacecraft and they go, "Oh, I just tuned into Planet Earth 2022," and it's like a sitcom for aliens. You know, what can happen next? You know, it's like that's where we're at, dude. Will Smith's behavior is indicative of the trauma inflicted upon the general population. The difference is he's a multi-millionaire. He got $20 million for Wild Wild West, right? So that guy's got money rolling out his fucking eyeballs, and yet he thinks he's so much above the regular human beings, the Fresh Prince of planet Earth, that he can just basically break the law in public, on TV, worldwide, and nothing's going to happen. And if I was him, I would have just, any man would have just, anyone who's really a man would have just let it roll off his shoulder like water, and maybe go talk to Chris Rock backstage calmly later on. But I don't want to talk about Will Smith. Fuck him. He's no hero. He's barely a human. I don't think he's any better than any of the politicians we got, to tell you the truth.
No, of course. Well, he's not sending people off to war so that he can make a profit. Although he may be a war profiteer, but sending people off to war isn't up to him.
Yeah, well, Pete's right. He's rich and delusional, and I guess cucked means you let somebody else fuck your wife. But I thought it was a chick, so I don't really know, and I don't really care. All I know is that everybody's got to be responsible for their own behavior, and he thinks he's above it all. And just like the generals in the Pentagon, just like the presidents, just like the Congress, just like Pelosi, just like AOC, and Ron Paul was right. Ron Paul was right, man. Let's get rid of the bankers.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. It's Planet Wacko. It's the 6th season of Planet Wacko. I don't know if we're all going to die, Mike. I don't know if we're going to have the 7th season of Planet Wacko here. But thank God Will Smith is actually Hancock, and he will save us. He'll bring Jesus down in a UFO surrounded by angels, and they'll invade the Pentagon with their shining white light, and everyone will be turned to gold, and we'll all just live happily ever after, and Santa Claus will deliver all his toys next year, thanks to Will Smith and the Pentagon. And everything's going to be okay. So just load another bong load, and let's watch the show together. This is Planet Earth 2022, man. It's every time we say it can't get much worse, it does. But
the South Park made an episode, by the way, where Earth was a soap opera, the most enjoyed soap opera in the universe, and it's so funny. They have these guys that are like aliens, and they have these big giant noses, and they control all the media in the universe.
And so they beam out Planet Earth soap opera all across the universe, and all the other aliens gets to see it.
Yeah, it's the most popular soap opera in the universe.
Well, I kind of have to sign on to that theory. I'm not, just imagine trying to keep your cool while bullets are flying and bombs are going off, and this is the reality for so many people. Oh, I got another little tidbit of actual information. The Zelensky and the Ukrainian government sent out a tweet, which within 24 hours they promptly deleted. And in this tweet, get this, they tweeted a chart. It said, Syria, 8 years, 50 bombs, and Ukraine, 3 weeks and 1,000 bombs. They were saying that the destruction in the Ukraine was, 100 times worse than what happened in Syria in 8 years. And it was so false, it was so blatantly not factual that they had to delete the tweet. Because, this guy Zelensky, he's got the biggest PR machine. He's doing shows and live streams and talking to politicians all over the world like 5 times a day, and you never see Vladimir Putin doing anything. Not, you have to look for it if you want to get his speeches. So the PR machine, basically what happened is Joe Biden hung Ukraine out to dry, and Joe Biden is going to fight Russia to the last drop of Ukrainian blood, and hopefully, they won't do anything even more stupid like a no-fly zone, or Poland won't invade. But we already got foreign soldiers in there. You've covered that, contractors. And so
volunteers. They're volunteers.
Yeah. So, but how ridiculous do you have to get to say this soft war that Russia is carefully trying to accomplish their goals for the last month or 3 weeks is way more destructive than 8 or 10 years of 5 different armies dropping bombs on Syria. A third of Syria is destroyed, and I thought that was the most blatantly stupid thing I've ever seen. And so did they, apparently, because they deleted the chart within 24 hours. So that's some pretty, I know your buddy 9-Star Brandon is a great guy who served his country, and he thinks Russia's a bad guy. But I really have to respectfully disagree with him, because Russia doesn't have this giant worldwide PR machine that Zelensky has. Zelensky is straight up lying. If Zelensky does anything that the Azov brigades or their far-right proxies don't like, Zelensky will be killed by his own countrymen who are Ukrainian Nazis and far-right Ukrainians. Zelensky will be killed. He's already been threatened by them, and they've already killed one negotiator in the first week of the war. So I understand Zelensky's point of view. He's got a family. He's trying to protect his family, even though I think Joe Biden is responsible for this war and not Vladimir Putin. Putin, as far as I understand, has been trying to stop the war, or stop the installation of missiles and the 15,000 people being killed in the Donbass, the Far East region. He's been trying to stop that for 8 years. So finally he did something, and war is not pretty, and war is basically politics by other means. You got this chick that the former Secretary of State that just died, I forgot her name. She said 500,000 Iraqi children, we think it's worth it. That was war by other means. That was war by sanctions. And guess who's being punished by all the sanctions? Me, Craig, Pete, everybody who drives a car.
The working class, anybody who buys groceries in the working class is being punished, and poor people.
Yeah, I went to the 99-cent store the other day, and everything was $2. So it's like, man, everything is going up. Gas is $6.50 a gallon, and it used to be 14 cents in Libya. It's 46 cents in Russia right now. So you've got this giant jockeying worldwide. Iran, Russia, all the BRICS nations are seriously trying to set up an alternative economic system, and you've got and Ukraine seems to be ground zero for a ground war, but that's not really economic maneuvering. That's strategic maneuvering to get rid of missiles in the Ukraine, and whether or not someone else agrees with me or not, I think there should be maybe a new type of government free from Nazis or Stefan Bandera fans. And the Donbass region, those Donetsk and the other province in the Donbass regions, they should be absolutely separate from Ukraine and separate from Russia. Russia doesn't want to take over Ukraine. They just want missiles not so close, and the American proxies called the Ukrainians, they want them to stop killing all the people in the East. And so it's been a long time coming, and Joe Biden's son set up the biolabs in Ukraine. He was the guy, you know. So that's all accurate, vetted information. It's not conspiracy theories. So
yeah.
So am I stressing you out? You want to talk about Will Smith?
No, I need to take a fucking bong hit, dude. That's what I need.
I'll talk to you later, dude.
Okay, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for calling.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so he was talking about comparing bombs dropping in Ukraine to bombs dropped on Syria. It wasn't him comparing. He was saying that Lewinsky, I don't know what his fucking name is, the Ukrainian leader, was comparing the number of bombs dropped on Syria to the number of bombs dropped on Ukraine, and talking about how it's so much more than Ukraine, like 10 times more than what happened in Syria. Now, this is happening a lot, this exaggeration, this I hear a lot about that in the news when it comes, especially when it comes to this refugee thing, right? They're talking about how in Ukraine more people have been displaced, you know, been thrown out of their homes, had to leave their country than since World War II. That's what they're saying, is more people have been displaced, had to leave their homes since World War II. And the truth is, if you simply Google these things, is that according to the Google, what does it say? It says the 2003 invasion of Iraq displaced approximately 1 in 25 from their homes, 9.2 million. So they're saying 3 million people in the Ukraine are displaced from their homes, had to leave their homes, had to leave Ukraine. But clearly, and they're saying that's the most since World War II, but clearly they're fucking lying. Okay? So get this through your head. These people lie, they lie, they lie, they lie, they lie. How can you trust any single fucking word they say? Okay, anything is so strange, you know. It's like I can't believe anything they say anymore, you know. But when something does happen, if something big happens, I'll make sure that we're here to talk about it, because again, I will be this voice that says I can't believe anything they say. But not only that, it's your voices that will be really important to the history of what's happening in this major event moment. So, and that's what I've always said, is that your voices are what really is important at Mox News. So that's why I appreciate the callers so much. And all of your input, even before we were doing a call-in show, I've always said is what, you know, the people viewing the videos have to say that is really important. As I said in the past, YouTube has deleted over 50,000 video posts that I've made. Well over 50,000 video posts that I've made, and it's not that I couldn't repost the videos. That would be fairly easy to do. I mean, it's going to take a minute to dig through 2,000 DVDs and 40 hard drives, But it could be done. But replacing all the comments that were made right then in the moment, in that moment of history, to see what people really thought. Again, it's your voices that matter. The videos, what I have to say is really weak compared to what you all are thinking and saying and sharing, because that's the discussion that needs to be had, needs to be documented. Again, when you see this information that says more Ukrainians have been displaced than since any other time since World War II, I want you to remember that, according to the Google here, and the other day I saw it said 21 million people. I saw it say 21 million people. Let's see. No. Let's see. Yeah. Anyways, I saw it say somewhere 21 million people. So when they're saying that 3 million, which is a lot of people, and it's horrible, horrible, horrible that they would have to be displaced from their homes, that they would have to leave their homes and not know if they're able to come back or if there'll be anything to come back to. Horrible, horrific. I can't imagine anything worse. That being said, 9 million, 20 million Iraqis. This happened to 20 million, 9 million, 20 million Iraqis. Again, 20 million is a number I've seen. Iraqis, which the problem with it is, again, it's this horrific thing that happens where you don't know if you're going to ever get to come back to your home or if there's going to be a home to come back to, right? It's this horrible, horrible thing. And the real problem with it being this way for the Iraqis is that it was entirely because of our government that lied to the whole world about why we had to invade Iraq. And then we displaced this says 9.2 million. 20 million is probably more likely. So 9.2 million, when you hear this again, and it was all done based on lies with your tax dollars in your name, okay? So this is a much bigger problem for the United States than 3 million Ukrainians being displaced, which is so horrible, and I feel so bad for those people. I keep hearing bullshit on the news. Oh, this is the biggest displacement of people in the Ukraine since World War II. Ukraine is the biggest. It's not true. It again shows the mainstream media being full of shit, and being full of shit for the sole purpose of, we have to help those people. They didn't talk about all the civilians that were being hurt from the Iraq War. It was never, we have to help those people. We were there to liberate them. We were there to make sure that they had freedom. By reducing every fucking apartment building to rubble. That's what freedom looks like. That's the American way. But Putin is the evildoer. And since World War II, blah, 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 blah. Don't look at what America's recent history is. The United States would never harm people for profit. So, I have done 2 bong hits, 3 bong hits. How many bong hits did we do? Either way, I'm pretty good. And I have jabbered on and jabbered on and jabbered on, which I'm pretty good with that also. So, again, just so we're clear, okay, pay attention. We're all going to die from a deadly plague. Every single one of us, every single person that you know is going to die from a deadly plague unless you do exactly as we say. If you don't do exactly as we say, you're not only endangering yourself, you're endangering everyone. Everyone in your family, all your neighbors, everyone in your entire community. You're going to kill us all. You need to do exactly what we say. Now, listen to a word from our sponsors. We're all going to die in a nuclear holocaust. Don't forget it, people. We're all going to die in a nuclear holocaust, and it could happen at any moment. Those missiles are pointed right for the United States, and now all it takes is for a button to be pushed, and we're all going to die. But first, we should talk about Will Smith, because, it's just fascinating, right? This is the mainstream media. It's so obvious. It's so apparent. And the reason I say that, one of the things I say that, I'm watching the news. You don't have to. I'm not really watching it, but I know how to watch the news. Here's how you know if there's something important going on, okay? If you put it on CNN and there's a commercial going, there's nothing happening. There's nothing that you really need to know about on that channel or Fox News or any of the other channels. It's just going to add negativity to your world that you don't need. There's already plenty of negativity if that's what you choose to focus on. There's actually all kinds of wonder and beauty and happy things too. But there's already plenty of negativity in the world at this point. You don't need to try and bring more in by watching this bullshit. So if you are going to turn on the news, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, whatever news it is you watch, and you're looking to make sure that there's not something important happening, you just want to check in, because that's what I do. Make sure that all you need to know is that if there's a commercial playing, nothing's happening. They're just talking bullshit. Oh, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Now a message from our sponsors. Get what I'm saying? If that's what's happening, if you're seeing commercials, like when the Las Vegas shooting happened, right? When Sandy Hook happened, right? When the Boston Marathon bombing happened, right? There was no commercials. They do like 6, 10, 12 hours of programming, sometimes longer, with no commercials. And the reason is because all these things are happening right now in this moment. And if they tune away from the Boston Marathon, maybe another bomb will go off. If they tune away from the Las Vegas shooting, maybe after they kill that shooter, another shooter will appear and more people will die. Or someone will pull out a rocket launcher and take out one of the helicopters that was supposedly shooting down on the fucking people in the goddamn concert. Fucking hard drives fucking disappeared. Really? Again? If they're playing commercials, nothing is actually happening that you need to know about. Unless you want to get an interview with Senator Sheldon Whitehouse or Ted Cruz. You don't want to miss out on an interview with Ted Cruz. Nothing's happening. And trust me, again, I promise, if something's happening, I will go live because I want you to be part of that event. Hello, caller.
Michael, it's Steve McClanahan.
Uh-huh.
I'm taking a hit with you because we're all going to fucking die.
We're all going to die! Pay attention, people!
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Michael, it tastes so good when you're on the road, tasting that fresh air.
Steve McClanahan is not smart enough to take a bong hit. So you just blew your cover, dude.
No, bro. Vape pen. This is Steve McClanahan evolved.
I wish.
I agree with the last caller who said that we should not allow Ukrainian immigrants into the United States.
Did he say that? I missed that part.
100% agree with that statement. I believe his name was Killer Mike.
I missed that part. I didn't hear him say that.
I completely support that statement.
But I don't give a fuck.
By the way, if you want to reach out to me, I just got a new job at the Hunter Biden Ukrainian. You can reach out to me at Hunter Steve at uk.bio.net. Have a nice night. I gotta hit the road. Good night.
Hey, it's good to hear from you, Steve. It's always good to hear from Steve McClanahan, isn't it? That guy works so hard. I'm telling you, he's on the road day and night, day in, day out. Although I don't know why he couldn't make it into the Toronto fucking protest. I'm sorry, Ottawa protest. Maybe he's not vaccinated. Are you not vaccinated, McClanahan? Huh? What'd I tell you about that? If you're going to work for Mox News, what'd I say? What did I say? Okay, so I just want to point out here quickly that we have been watching these cameras on Mox News live shows now for 2 or 3 weeks, 3 weeks, I think. And again, we have yet to see any smoke rising in the distance. We have yet to see any fires burning out of control or any buildings crumbling or any kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to be seeing here. Because it sounds like what we're supposed to be seeing is death and destruction everywhere. And by the way, this one right here in the middle, right there, where it shows the rubble, I don't think that's rubble. That looks like the beach. Doesn't that look like the beach? Looks like water on the right hand side, and like a little kind of jetty, rock breakwater. Isn't that what that looks like? I can't tell. Anyways, we've yet to see any kind of destruction or so I'm just saying these are the live cameras. They're not the images that are being shown to us by the mainstream media, by the people that have lied to us again and again and again and again, and that's partially why I'm bringing this to you, because I want to know what's going on. I want to share with you so that you can share with me. I want to get your input. That's why we're doing this. So, and hopefully someday we will. Until that day, I would recommend that you do not hold your breath. So, I'm getting hungry, people. It's very nice to hear from you, Steve. Again, it's always good to hear from you. We miss you when you're not around, so you know. Okay, so again, I'm here to do this. I'm here to talk about Will Smith. I'm ready to talk about anything you want to talk about in the Oscars. I just can't stop focusing on this Will Smith, Chris Rock thing, though, because it's so important to all of us. What's going to happen at next year's Oscars? Will Smith be allowed at next year's Oscars. Will he ever be nominated for an Oscar again? I cannot stop thinking about Will Smith. Because that's the most important thing going on in the world right now. I mean, we really should stop all this talk about the Ukraine for a minute and just talk about Will Smith. We should stop all this chatter about nuclear war about to happen at any moment and talk about Will Smith. Because this is so important to all of us. And again, when I talk about, if there's commercials going on, that shows that there's nothing that you need to know. You put on the MSN, NBC, you put on the CNN, you put on the Fox, and if there's a commercial playing, there is absolutely nothing you need to know about. You may want to hear an interview with Rand Paul or Tulsi Gabbard, but there's absolutely nothing that you need to know right now, right? If there's a commercial playing, again, during the Las Vegas shooting, no commercials. During the Boston Marathon, no commercials. Okay, during Sandy Hook, no commercials. Parkland, no commercials. Okay, and the reason is because we need to focus on this thing right now, this thing that's happening, this thing that's overwhelmingly important. So what I'm telling you is that if there's commercials going on, then it's not overwhelmingly important. If it's not overwhelmingly important, you really don't need to know what it is, the bullshit that they're spreading at this moment. You hear what I'm saying? You don't need their bullshit in your brain, because if there's a commercial on, there's absolutely no important information that you need right at this moment. I've done this for fucking 20 plus years, okay? I know what I'm talking about, okay? Trust me, I keep an eye on the news. I'm watching, and you know why? You know how I watch? I turn it on, and I go, oh, there's a commercial on, nothing I need to know. I can turn it on, and they're doing a story, and I can go, this is the same bullshit that they've already said 40 fucking times today, so I don't need to know that information. It's worthless. If they're repeating it over and over again, it means they're desperate for fucking information. Because, we have to talk about this one thing for 24 hours. Because we got no other thing right now. Because this is all that matters. Because you people can only focus on one thing at a time. And if we start going, there's multiple threats, like, the deadly plague that's going to kill us all, the chemical weapons attacks that are about to happen, the nuclear holocaust that we're all going to die in. We can only do one of those at a time. Because if we try and do all of them at the same time, you might see through our bullshit. If we just saying this one thing, then you go, oh my God, no. But if they're saying, and then there's this other thing that you might die from, and then there's this other deadly plague that we're all going to die from, you might look at it a little sideways. What's going on with these people, right? And that's what I'm telling you. This is all that it is this we're all going to die. This fucking bullshit that's just meant to stress you out. This completely worthless information. Completely worthless. Nothing you need to know. Okay? And the simplest way to sort it out is you turn on the TV, and if they're playing something if you're going to turn on the news, you don't have to turn it on. Something's happening, I'll be here. Okay? That being said, if you turn on the news and there's a commercial where they're talking about Will Smith, there's absolutely nothing that you need to know right now in this moment going on. I've already explained how I know this. So, these are words of wisdom, people. I hope you're keeping up, because this is valuable to each and every one of you. Because I said so. I made a big batch of brownies last night. What a life. What a life. I'm going to start seeds on April 1st. It seems like a good day to start seeds on, right? I'm going to start seeds on April 1st. I'm just going to start like a half a dozen or 10 plants, something like that, that are going to grow very quickly. I'm going to put them outside immediately. We're getting way too much sun. You know, the weather is over 50 degrees every day. Not a whole lot over 50, but over 50. So I'm going to put a half a dozen or a dozen out. And hopefully they'll finish in about 60 days, right? So we'll do that. And then I'll start a whole bunch more inside. And those ones, I'm going to grow some motherfucking trees. Okay? Motherfucking trees. So hopefully we'll be able to share some pictures and video of that with you. That sounds like a good plan to me. That being said, we do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back tomorrow night, same Mox time, same Mox channel, and until then, remember, if there's something going on, I'll be here. Because I want you to come and join me. I don't want you just stuck on what the mainstream media is saying. I want us to talk about it all. I want it all. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please remember, it's always better when you're here. Never forget.
Screw your freedom. 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 Screw your freedom.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.
I'm going to show you my invisible mask.
Very serious.
This is my invisible mask for Stacey Abrams. Ready? I'm going to put it on. It's on. It's great. All right, Carol. Last word here. Okay, I'm going to show you my invisible mask.
Very serious.
This is my invisible mask for Stacey Abrams. Ready? I'm going to put it on. It's on. It's great. All right, Carol. Last word here.